My first big trip that I took out here to Yunnan. Okay. And I think we touched on this in one of our last talks where we were talking about food in Yunnan. Obviously for me, when I travel, food is a big part of it. It's a common, exactly, it is a common language. And going to Yunnan, I spent just over a week there, just after our New Year's, actually last year. And I went with a friend, just the two of us, sort of our first foray, I guess you could say, into traveling in China. It was the southwest province in China. We took a flight there and we took buses around. We flew into Kunming, and then we ended up actually celebrating New Year's Eve, having a bonfire with some locals.
That's awesome.
And just sort of in this small town area outside of Dali. It was just such a special experience.
My first travel experience in China was to Inner Mongolia. So it was all the way up north. I took an overnight train, a sleeper train, my first sleeper train experience in China. It was almost 13 hours long, so we took it overnight and then arrived in Inner Mongolia in the morning. So that was a very unique experience in itself. And then we just spent a long weekend in Inner Mongolia. So a really good thing about being a teacher and being able to travel is that you can take long weekends and actually explore the vast majority of the country. It's a nice
and did you do that on your own in Mongolia?
I did.
You?
So I went with a group of fellow teachers. We all signed up for a tour and we paid a fee, and a very reasonable fee. I don't remember the exact amount right now, but it was reasonable and everything was taken care of for us. So we were picked up once we got to the train station, taken to a hostel, and then we went on yurts. So we slept in the grasslands. So that was really cool. We rode camels in the desert and got to try really unique cuisines up north. There's a lot of Muslim influence as well. So it was really different from what we were experiencing in Beijing, for example, and really good to again get to know the locals.
Absolutely. What was it like getting to know the locals up there?
There's a lot of culture in Inner Mongolia and a lot of influences from other countries as well. So it was really unique, and again, sleeping in a yurt in the grasslands is also
it's a pretty special experience, I think. That's something you'll look back at.
Yes, and riding camels and horses in the desert as well. So that was really unique and one of probably the top experiences I've had over here.
No, you don't need to be able to speak Chinese. Obviously, it helps in some scenarios, but again, as we mentioned, you get by without it. You get by with little pieces here and there.
Train stations and airports usually have English as well, so it's kind of nice to have that reference.
Absolutely.
And usually by pointing at things and signs, you can again get by and try to have a conversation. You have translation apps as well.
Exactly.
I never leave home without my phone, and everything is in there.
Absolutely. And then the thing you'll find, especially when you leave some of the bigger cities, even in the big cities too, you'll find people here in China are very friendly. They're here. They're very keen to help you as a foreigner here traveling about. You can just if you're curious about their culture, curious about the city, and you sort of show a little humility, they will welcome you in, and they will show you their home. They'll show you their food. They'll show you wherever you want. I've had locals actually give me a tour of their city. Just you meet them and they want to share their culture, and you don't really need to know the language much. I've taken actually language courses here myself, and I think you have too. Which not fluent, but we can get by with a little bit. And actually, traveling helps you to develop and practice your Mandarin if that's something you're interested in.
And a lot of locals also want to practice their English skills. So they see a foreigner and they definitely want to practice their skill set and exchange that with you. So that's a nice give and take in that regard when it comes to language overall.
Absolutely. And one quick note on that, when we talk about some of the translation, I think one thing that sometimes people don't even realize how easy it is WeChat Translate. So you can actually add, if you meet them, local friend, you can add them on WeChat, and you can just message back and forth, full conversations, them in Chinese, you in English, and you just hold it, press it, and it translates. And it's so accurate, weirdly accurate. So very, very easy to do. Yes, sure is. I've had no travels with that. I've traveled on my own, I traveled with a friend, travel in groups, and haven't really had any different experiences. As I've said, people are really friendly here in China. You may get some looks, especially while you're traveling on your own. You may get people staring and pointing, but it's all in good fun.
It is.
They're just curious about you. And I think it's actually one of the more rewarding experiences I've had is traveling on your own. You feel pretty empowered to say that you can travel around China on your own. And you end up in some pretty fun experiences with locals.
Thinking back at that first train ride to Inner Mongolia, we all booked our tickets separately, so we were all in different carts.
Wow.
So I was the only foreigner in my train cart. It was a 6-bed bunk, so I was the only foreigner, and I had 5 Chinese locals just staring at me. And then they were wanting to practice their English, so that was a really neat experience as well. So we added each other on WeChat, and we were practicing our English and my Chinese. So that was really rewarding as well. But I was, again, the only local. As a female, I felt fine and comfortable and safe as well. So that was really nice as well.
So you have apps in China like Trip.com. That's a huge app that you can book your plane tickets, your train tickets, and accommodation through. I've noticed that you can even book a car rental through there now. Next, you have your WeChat app where you can book your plane tickets and your train tickets as well. And then for accommodation, you also have Agoda, Booking.com, Kayak, as well as hostelworld.com. So it depends on where you want to go, how long you want to stay, and that depends on what platform you're going to be booking your tickets or your accommodation on. If you do go to the smaller, maybe tier 2, tier 3 cities, the English may not be as readily accessible, but we have a couple of apps that we recommend. So the first is WeChat, and WeChat has a new translation function where you can scan, for example, a menu at a restaurant, and the Chinese characters will be automatically translated into English. Another app that we recommend is Pleco, where you can put in the English word and then the Chinese pinyin and characters will come up and vice versa. So the last app that we recommend is Google Translate, and they have a really good speech translation function where you can speak either English or Mandarin into Google Translate, and then it will automatically do the translation.